Yeah, I mean, looking back at it, the whole perspective, I mean, when you look at what this team accomplished, going back to the very beginning where they were able to get a Power 4 team in Arizona and then turn around and play, Grand Valley close, who could repeat as national champions this year. Then you look at your next few games after that, beat a Colorado Mesa team who right now is playing for the region title, and they're 35-1. You handled them pretty well. Beat a team like Ferris State, who was top 20 in the country. So you go throughout the year, you had a lot of great wins, a lot of great games against great teams. The ending was unfortunate, like you mentioned, not the ending we wanted. Unfortunately, we had some bad breaks go our way. Losing Taylor hurt for sure. So that was unfortunate that had to happen. But I mean, obviously, that tighter game, it just wasn't going our way. But you could see the fight in these kids, especially in that fourth quarter, what they were able to do. Fought back and dang near got it to a point where they could almost win the game. And so, from a standpoint of proud, I couldn't be more proud of a team than I am this year. Couldn't love any kids more than I love these kids. And it stinks because there's only one team that's going to be the champion, and unfortunately, we weren't able to get that done this year.
Kind of moving forward, for the girls that are going to be back on this roster, what does this year do for them,
Yeah.
moving forward?
Sets a big standard. I mean, when you look at but it also is the standard that Lady Buff basketball is. You look throughout the history of this program, it's had a rich tradition of winning a lot of games, and we've been fortunate enough to win quite a bit. The next step is obviously trying to get that crown of the whole thing. And that's what our job is as coaches. We got to go reload now. There's losing a lot, and that hurts for sure. But at the same time, it's also exciting because you got basically your entire front line coming back, and now it's time to go get some pieces in the backcourt to fit alongside them. And I think we're off to a good start already, and just got to go finish it out the right way.
On the flip side of that, you guys are losing a lot of valuable leadership and
Yeah.
experience. I mean, I think 9 overall players graduated. That's the bulk of this team.
Yeah.
What impact has they had on this team?
Yeah, I mean, the leadership has been great. I mean, you never had to worry about that. Every one of these kids have always stood in the gap and figured out the issues and the problems that have had to happen this year and figured out how to get a resolution to that. And as a coach, that's nice when all you got to do is really focus on coaching, and they're taking care of a lot of that for you. So huge shout out to those girls. I mean, it's one of the best years I've ever had in regards to leadership. It's been phenomenal. And so, Kyla was a big part of that. Carly was a big part of that. Claire, Randy, I mean, I could list them all. Holly, Zoe, keep going down the list. You don't want to forget anybody. Chloe Callahan. Chloe Callahan probably did more for the culture of this program than almost any kid we've ever had. She came in and just from day one, it brought so much enthusiasm to what we're doing. So, again, you don't want to forget anybody, but at the same time, every one of these kids have left an imprint on this program that will never be forgotten. And even though we only had Kennedy Winfrey for a year, she was a very impactful 1 year that you had that kid, and she did a lot of great things for us. So, again, like you said, like you mentioned, losing a lot, but I think there's some good young leadership coming up behind them that's ready to take the flag and run with it.
One of those.
Kind of next for the program as you go out of the season, you start having meetings or
Yeah.
what's that look like right now?
Yeah, I mean, we got to wait a couple weeks, and obviously we're on spring break this week, so just kind of letting everybody catch their breath, at the end of the year, and then we'll start having those meetings and figuring out, I mean, we're in a crazy world now. You never know what anybody's going to do. We feel good about where we're at with all of our kids and the status of what they're going to be doing this coming year, but we got to go reload. And like I said, we're already off to a good start. I mean, the kid out of Colorado, we signed Juliet Slater, is a really good player. Signed Ella Brown, Coach Brown's daughter, going to be very beneficial. And we got several kids in the wings that we're just waiting to either get on a visit or, just talking to about getting here and seeing what this is about.
One of the young players that really stepped up for you, Henley West. Just what growth did you see out of that freshman this year?
Yeah, she had great moments. I mean, you can go back to many moments where, I think in that St. Mary's game where she hit 2 threes and, kind of helped separate us from that game. I mean, but there's many other moments throughout the year. I go back to the conference championship game against Texas Women's where she was thrust into even a bigger role when we lost Taylor. Just, 12 hours ago we lost Taylor. I mean, it wasn't very far, but she stepped up and played great. Henley played great against Texas Women. So she had great moments this year and moments that I know that she's learned from, too. And so she's got a big, 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 bright future. Henley's a great kid. She's an ag major, so I mean that's the one great thing about West Texas is amongst many other academic programs, but I don't think ag kind of a second to none around the country here, and so she's very involved in that, and so she's going to be a great kid. I mean, and going to be a great player for us. I mean, she's got 3 years left with that kid, so I can't wait to see what she's able to accomplish.
One of the things that we saw a lot, especially with Henley, was just the leadership that the other girls were able to pour down, and girls like Taylor. How much did you see that this year of the girls knowing that this is their last year and helping out the underclassmen as much as they could?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the biggest imprints that they wanted to leave was they wanted to leave this program and culture the right way. I mean, everybody wanted to finish at the pinnacle, right? Everybody wants to finish there. But I think the impact that you leave is what you left behind, and I think these girls did a great job of leading Henley and leading Taylor and leading several of the other girls, Abby Holder, all these girls that are left, that Tatum Bell, I mean, they all were impacted by those kids. And so now it's their time. Now it's your time. Like, it's time for you to step up into that role of being a leader, one kid I definitely want to mention is Taylor Hagan's ready. She's ready for that role. She embraces that role. She wants that role. And so we're excited with her. I mean, she's going to have a couple months here of just rehab and things like that to get back, but she'll be back by early summer or something like that to be able to get full go to get working out and stuff. So Taylor will have plenty of time to be ready for next year. There's no doubt.